go there. I was nearly going to click on the drive then. I was wanting to get out and race myself there. But no, we're not. We are doing some commentating because it is the 16th round of the Craftsman Cup Series. And we're back again at the 2.66 mile super speedway. That is Talladega. Back at round 10, it was a really exciting finish to the race. Hopefully, this one will be even better. We'll hope to find out anyway come tomorrow. But now we're getting some qualifying out the way. Another 15-minute session for all the other drivers there that are heading their way out and try and post the fastest time that will put them on to the pole position. And you can see already a few other cars there are making all their way out onto the track. As we're looking now at Charles Sanford. Don't want to be looking at him. Let me just get out this spectator mode and just stick it on any other car, I suppose. Right, there we go. So the first one's going to be... Oh, it was Wes McCall. So Wes McCall was the first car that came out. And Wes is currently sitting mid-table in the championship. He's about flirting about with the 21st place in the drivers' points here. So he's having an okay season. He's not doing bad. And it's just a mid performance so far for Wes in the Conseco Pontiac for AJ Foyt Racing. I can guarantee you he's not a rookie with those rookie stripes. No, he's been a veteran since the very first CCS season when I believe he drove the #1 Pennzoil car. I think he drove all the way back nearly 10, 11 years ago when the CCS first existed. Anyway, 48.376 then for the veteran. And just coming out onto the track was the guy who won at Talladega about nearly 2 months ago, Cole Diva. Few other cars heading out onto the track. As you can see there, the 22, the current points leader, Dylan Poulteat. There he is, just trying to get into top speed. Wes McCall trying to get by Jessica Shelton. There's Zachary Fitzwater. Nico Ketchum, who was, well, we could probably call him a road course ringer. Seems to be very, very good on these road courses. Hasn't had that luck though in oval racing. If this championship is all road courses, he'd be champion by now with Nico. He really would be. Seth Cole coming out onto the track, as well as Christian Martin and Brandon Ross. The track is starting to fill up now with all these cars. And Seth Cole is actually using the same car he raced in the All-Star race, only narrowly missing out on the start-finish line to Brandon Tedesco. So it's the exact same car that Seth is driving. From the All-Star race. There's a look then at Brandon Ross. If you think back to Dale Earnhardt's last ever win was at this track. And for me, it was considered the greatest drive I've ever seen from anyone. From being about 15th place with 5 laps to go and end up winning it was just the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And it wasn't the fact that he was passing cars on the inside, like the easier line. No, he was passing cars in the middle and the outside. That was how impressive I think it was there. Lots of bunching up cars here. Look, I can see further back. As you see there, we've got some free wide activity going on between Jesse Turner, Sama Oskin and RJ Bishop. And behind them is Stefan Papiez, Diego Ospina, Charles Sanford, Trent Dunham, Andy McCurdy and Cole Diva. And there is Jeremy Tackles, who's now sitting second in the points. And right behind him is, well, I said it as well, a driver that is definitely a man on a mission. And he's made an absolute resurgence in the point standing. There he is there, the Michigan race winner, the 75 of Rye Hayden. I think it was like, what was it, after Daytona, he came into the second half of the season sitting 35th in the point standings. Now we're coming into about 5 races to go. He's now sitting in 6th place in the championship. If there's ever a guy that is on form at the minute, it's this man right here, Ry Hayden. Picking up top 10s for fun. You know, only manages to finish 3rd place last week at Old Spice. Like I said, he got a win at Michigan a couple of weeks before that, and also had a strong finish in Kentucky, I believe it was. So, yeah, Ry is definitely on something here tonight, and you could probably say he might be possibly be the favourite coming into this race the way he is. At the moment, though, Ry is currently sitting 31st, 32nd now. But again, it's Talladega. Doesn't matter where you're going to start. You can qualify dead last and end up winning the race. It has happened before. Richard Johnson there, who led at Old Spice before pitting in the next lap. I think we also got told that it was condemned as a penalty, unfortunately, for Richard Johnson, which was a terrible travesty, considering he was up in the top 10 all race long, like the same as Daniel Voiles did, but he had encountered a problem for him. Speaking of which, he is actually further back here for the field. A few cars in the pits. In comes James Qualls, last week's winner, as well as Michael Norman. RJ Bishop putting on some tyres, and I think that's Nick Gunther just ahead. Nick Gunther nearly flirting in the top 10 in the driver's standings, and he had quite a drive at Old Spice last week, starting on the last row and getting a top 10 finish. And we're back again here with Christian Martin. He is sitting in the 13th place for the guy that comes into this 3rd in the championship. And you got this pack of cars right here, which is now being joined by Jesse Turner and Dylan Poulty and Sam Oskin. So we've got a few cars in that pack. Jeremy Tacos, former points leader, has just improved into 39th place, nearly halfway through the qualifying session. Don't know who's on the pole. We like to keep that as pretty much as a surprise. Richard Johnson and Dylan Young working together. Dylan Young currently 35th. And there's another guy that's also doing well recently, is Chris Summers. There he is. And he's also moving up in the points as well. He's had some back-to-back top 10 finishes, and I think he had a 14th place finish at Old Spice. And he's actually moved up to 33rd in the driver's standings now. So Chris Summers on the up and up, but hopefully can he survive Talladega? I don't think he survived it the previous time that we raced here. I don't think he did. So he's hoping to get a first finish in Talladega this season. Of course, this is the second and last time that we're going to be racing at this facility. Behind there, you've got Daniel Voiles. There he is, 24 fastest. And a heap of Fords behind him. Trick Torger and Danny Wells, who is in 4th place in the points. Stephen Cole on as well in the 9, sponsoring with the Cougar, the gold and black one, not instead of the Kodiak that we are always used to seeing. One driver that we do need to talk about, and he's not in this lineup here, is Nathan Norman. There he is, behind Joshua Collard. There he is. There is Josh. Sorry, not Joshua. There is Nathan. He had received a 2 race probation after causing 2 spins to drivers. He spun out a couple of drivers last week at Old Spice. So he is serving the first of his 2 race probation, which means he has to be a very good boy in Talladega and at Homestead. And then he'll be in the all clear. So far, Nathan is sitting in P30. The now nearly went quicker than his best time up at 46.754. Ahead of him is Jamie Smith, and he sits 25th, 46.646, and Joshua Collard 33rd, 46.811. Behind there, you've got Nathan Hudson and Matt McLean. Matt McLean, who's 7th in the standings. Nathan Hudson, who is 15th, and Matt McIntyre, who has actually fell down the point standings, is Matt McIntyre. He's down to 30th now, so he needs a great one for the Charlotte race winner. Looks like they're working cohesively, well, very much working well together. As the 4 of them are all in a draft, reaching over 200 miles an hour, 205 now, and now Nathan will go to the high side and let the 3 drivers go through. Nathan will be, so far, provisionally, will be starting on the outside of row 15. for the Roush Racing Ford. And behind them, you've got Seth Cole, Fitzwater, Nico Ketchum, Brandon Ross, Christian Martin, and Wes McCall. Behind them, you've got another pack of Trent Dunham, Sam Oskin, Cole Diva, Papiez. That's kind of I think Dylan Pody's actually lost the draft, unfortunately. Sam Oskin in 8th place. He's starting to get qualifying hooked up now, Sam. Started on the outside of the front row at Old Spice, and he's going to, looks like so far, he is starting inside the top 10 yet again. So Sam's qualifying is starting to get there. He fell out of the top 10 after his poor finish. Well, he retired in that huge stack up of cars during the last caution, and because of that, that made him fell out of the top 10 in the points. But he's only outside the points by roughly 58 points, so it's not that much, though. It really isn't that much. The guy that entered into the top 10, I believe, for the... Oh, wow, look at Levi McIntyre taking a different line there. That could be a good line, because it'll be quicker. We need to find him. Oh, out goes Stephen Colon. Stephen Colon having the 15th fastest time. There he is. There James Qualls, a guy that made into the top 10 after his win at Old Spice. And so far, James Qualls is 36th place. Coming down then on 3 minutes to go. And it just seems to me, if you're in a pack, you're going to be good. There's a look then at Kyle Matthews. He's having a really struggling season, is Kyle. Had a threat to do well at Michigan when he qualified up at the front, but fell wayward towards the end. He's 35th in the driver's standings, the worst of the Hendrick camp, as Nathan Ormond is 23rd and RJ Bishop is 27th. So Kyle needs to get things going in the 24 machine. Behind him is Carson Gum, who is sitting 8th in the points. Noah Hart just outside. Well, he's just not outside. Well, he is outside of the top 10. He's only 70 points off of being in the top 10, in 18th place in the standings. Quite ironic considering he is driving the car 18. So far, he's nearly in position 18, actually. That would have been quite freaky. Anyway, we're coming down then with 2 minutes to go. Look at that, 203 miles an hour across the tri-oval. His last lap was only 1,000th slower than his best lap. He does improve. No, he doesn't. I take it back. What am I saying? I thought it was 8:15. 8:14 was his fast lap there. I mean, I'm wearing glasses too. That's embarrassing. Noah Cars, there he is. He's also in the top 5 in the championship. So far, he's 27th for the Hot Wheels driver for Petty Enterprises. You've got Brand Tedesco, who had an absolutely wonderful day at the All-Star race back at Bullet Speedway in my hometown of Hartlepool, but then afterwards it's just been downfalling for Brandon. He's 40th in the driver standings. So far, the Brett Bodine driver is currently sitting 29th place. Still RJ Bishop and Jamie Smith and Joshua Collard trying to work together. Nathan Ormond trying to catch up to them. Nathan does improve to a 46.316, and he goes into 15th place. And I think by logical for that as well, maybe Stephen Collin may have improved as well, and he did. And he went faster than Nathan. He goes into 13th place now. They are catching up though to the 11 and the 88, but I just don't think they've got enough time for Brandon and James to do a faster lap, as we're down now to the last minute of qualifying. I genuinely don't have a clue who's going to start on the pole position. I really, really don't. As Jamie Smith pulls down, Nathan Orman might go a bit quicker here. Let's keep an eye out here on Nathan. Currently 7 a 2 race probation. Does he improve? Yeah, 46.194, and he goes up into 9th place now for Nathan Ormond, the runner-up of the Daytona 500 back in the very first round of the championship. Oh, he's gone down to 10th place now. Someone's went quicker than him. Presumably, it could have been the guy in the 9 car. Got 14 seconds to go. Christian Martin's heading out onto the track. No point, because there's only 10 seconds to go. So his lap times aren't going to be counting. Brandon Ross at the tail end of the field. He's sitting 3rd. So I believe the pole sitter could be in this pack of cars right here. qualifying has ended. 45.963 then for Brandon Ross. And he's going to pass Matt McIntyre as they're nearly going to go 4 wide across the finish. And will Brandon Ross improve on his 45.963? No, he doesn't. He goes 4 tenths slower. And we'll just give it a couple of seconds away. Diego Ospina, Charles Sanford, there's Stefan Papiez, there's Cole Deaver, Anthony McCrory, Trent Dunham and Samet Ozkan. Looks like they are going to go into the pits maybe. Trent Dunham is 12th fastest. Don't know where Samet is because we don't have a look at that just yet. And wow, look at this gaggle of cars right here across the start-finish line. They're nearly going 4 wide right now there too. Daniel Voiles just pipped to the line there by Dylan Young now. Almost shades of what happened at Kentucky with Daniel Voiles and Trent Dunham stealing the win away from him. As you can see there, Daniel was sitting in 19th place, and that will do it for qualifying, I reckon. So then, ladies and gentlemen, let's see who will start on the pole for tomorrow's race for round 16. And it is Zachary Fitzwater. Back-to-back pole positions then for the Aussie. And he will start alongside Seth Cole in the 40 machine. So it's an old Chevrolet 1, 2, 3 with Brandon Ross in 3rd. And then you've got Stefan Papiez in 4th place, the best of the Fords and the best of the Pontiacs. Wes McCall will start in P5. Jessica Shelton, great qualifying for her. She will start on 6th. And then on row 4, we will have Anthony McCrory and Stephen Cole on. Dylan Poteet, championship leader, he will start 9th. And Nathan Ormond will be alongside him. Then you've got Christian Martin, the points leader for so many weeks. He's coming in this 3rd in the championship now. And he'll be alongside Trent Dunham. Samet Ozkan and Jesse Turner will make up row 7. And Chris Summers, who, like I said, is improving in the points. And he's going to be alongside his friend Jeremy Tackles. Nathan Hudson and Danny Wells, 4th in the championship. He'll be alongside his teammate Nathan. Hopefully them two will work well together. Daniel Voiles will start 19th ahead of Matt McLean. Matt McIntyre will start 21st. And Nico Ketchum, the second place driver last week, he will start on the outside of row 11. Charles Sanford, Cole Deaver, like I said, the winner in the previous time we went to Talladega, he will start 24th ahead of Trek Torgan, Noah Hart, Kyle Matthews, and Dylan Young, the We the Coasters team, starting in row 14. Then on row 15, we'll have Levi McIntyre and Carson Gump. Both drivers, I believe. Well, Carson's in the top 10. I don't know where Levi is. If I can get my thing up again. Levi is sitting 13th in the standings, so nearly just in the top 10 for Levi. Michael Norman and Noah Cars make up row 16. Brant Tedesco, Jamie Smith, 33rd and 34th respectively. Richard Johnson, Joshua Collard will make up row 18. Row 19 will consist of Nick Gunther. Again, another bad qualifying for Nick, but like I says, he started on the back row at Old Spice and got a top 10 finish, so it's not the end of the world there for Nick, and he'll be alongside his fellow Chevrolet driver in RJ Bishop. Diego Ospina, not good there for Diego. Just outside the top 10 in the points, and he's going to be alongside the man of the hour at the moment, Ry Hayden, and Cody Lammers, and the winner from last week, James Qualls, starting on the final row. But as I said already, starting in the back row is not a major issue when you're racing at Talladega or Daytona. We have seen drivers win the race from that row. We have seen drivers finishing in 2nd place on our final row. So there we have it. That is the end of qualifying. Congratulations then. Another pole position for Zachary Fitzwater. Can he convert it to get his 2nd win of the season? We're just going to have to find out until tomorrow. But don't forget, give this qualifying a like. And the link to the Discord group will be down below. Until then, we'll see you tomorrow for the race.